What's up, everyone? It's been a long time since I've done a video, but today I want to talk about the PlayStation 5 controller, the Dualsense. Um, First of all, I'm super excited for next generation from both Xbox and PlayStation. I do like what the Xbox Series X is doing in terms of the power and what Microsoft is doing over there in next gen. And the other day, Sony dropped the controller for their next generation, their PlayStation 5. And I have to say, I really, really like this controller, man. Here it is. This is really sleek. It's got this futuristic look to it. It looks like a complete revamp of the controller. Maybe not completely, but when you look at this controller, it's very, very different than from the past controllers that Sony has done. And I think it's a very bold approach from both a technical and a design. So this is their new controller. I think it's safe to assume that their next generation console, the actual console, is going to look somewhat similar to this. Excuse me. I think this gives us a hint at what maybe the console design will look like if we're looking at the controller and we have this dual tone, black and white with what it looks to be RGB lighting on the sides right there in the middle. It that may very well be the same factor for the console. We might have this dual color with a hint or a tint of blue, but we shall see. I think when you first look at this controller, I don't think it's necessarily easy on the eye at first, but I think over time it definitely grows on you, and I really love that. Now, there are some tweaks. It looks like it definitely in the area right there in the middle with the touchpad. It looks like it's floating a little bit more. The ergonomics of this controller is a little bit different than the DualShock 4. This definitely looks a little bit more in par with like an Xbox controller. So very interesting that Sony went this route. It's going to be using USB-C finally. Holy shit. So that means that this controller is hopefully going to last longer. We'll see though. And yeah, I think this is very, very exciting. We're getting, one step closer to next generation. I know Sony has been pretty quiet in terms of information and what they've been sharing. And this is the first time where we actually saw something from Sony other than specs here and there and tech stuff. It's really nice to see kind of a blueprint of what their next generation is going to look like. And it's very exciting. I love technology. I love my video game consoles. I geek out pretty hard over it, especially on Twitter. When it comes to controllers, I have a lot of controllers, and I'm a big fan of controllers. I love when a next generation is upon us. I love to dissect everything about the console to the controller. I want to get it in my hand. I want to see what it feels like. I want to see, how I'm going to like this compared to past controllers, everything. Pretty big fan of, the tech. So, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Just wanted to share my thoughts. Really like this controller. I think at first I was a little bit hesitant, like that very first impression. I was like, all right, this is very, very bold. I did not expect this at all. I think it's safe to assume that the console is going to be mostly white with some black trim and a little bit of blue. That's kind of what I'm kind of seeing here. But we shall see. We shall wait and see. Hopefully Sony reveals the console soon. I think a lot of people are kind of dying to see what this thing's going to be. Of course, price point and all that, we're going to have to wait and see. I am thinking that it's going to be about $500, given the power that is packed into this into these next gen consoles. But yeah, we're going to have to see. Overall, I do love this controller. I think this controller is super slick. It's sexy. It's sleek. It has this futuristic look to it that has me very excited, and I like the bold approach. Let me know what you think about the PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you prefer, the DualShock 4 over it? Leave it in the comment section, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing all right. I know it's strange times, crazy times we're living in right now. I do have a little bit more time on my hands to do maybe videos now and stuff like that. But haven't done a video in a long time. I do miss doing them. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe out there, staying inside, and you guys take it easy. I'll catch you next time.